is Pam. Welcome to season 4 of the Digitize Fully Charged Podcast. Joined as ever by Niall Ridgway.
Hello.
And Niall, you've got some amazing guests lined up for season 4, haven't you?
Honestly, we've had such a blast recording everybody's episodes and getting to know everyone from old friends such as we've got Leif Tobro, we've got Pamela Bowl, Matthew Weems as well, we've got Steve Archer, Patrick Hickey, Darren White, Jenny Martin, honestly, Kat Lamon. There's so many incredible names that we have had the privilege and honour to chat with and get to know and chat everything EdTech and all the things that are happening in their lives as well and how they're making the difference to young people. So we're really excited for season 4.
Get some season 4 goodness on the go. I didn't realise half of those people hadn't even gone, you forget almost that you've already recorded them, eh?
I know.
So that's super exciting. I forgot we hadn't released some of them. That's great. Now I'm excited. And this episode is... It's coming, we're recording this at the end of January, and anyone who's kind of interested in technology and education always has a January with Bett involved in it. And actually some of our listeners might not even know what Bett is. It's a shame. I was there last week, and I often think, I just wish every educator could get to go to that. Because there is so much there to see and explore and get excited about, but it tends to just be the kind of EdTech people like you and me. Obviously, it's in London. It's not easy to get to. Schools are open. Everybody's teaching. But
I mean, I was really lucky that you, a couple of years ago, Pam, took me. We've been a couple of times together down to Bett. It is incredible. Now, I've not been for a couple of years, though, so I imagine a lot of things have changed since then, and a lot of the stalls have changed, a lot of the companies might have changed as well, although there will be some very familiar faces that we're very used to seeing and getting to that chance to catch up with everybody again. But I think what's great is that I'm coming at this from the same point of view as the viewer who's never been, because I've not seen it for so long. So I've got a ton of questions to ask you about what you saw, who you saw, what's it like. I mean, my sister's a primary head teacher over with Stirling Council, and she's never been, and she was saying to me, I would love to go to that, and I was like, just come down. She was like, well, I wouldn't get away with that this week with everything I've got going on, but maybe next year. And maybe as part of our kind of podcast role, what we can do is just tell people about it so that they might actually think, you know what, that would be good for me to go and, find stuff out from a school, or especially people that are head teachers, school leaders, because what we find is that we go down there and it's the same people all the time. And it's a big catch up,
everybody
isn't it?
Everybody go, and it's brilliant because that human side is amazing, and you bump into loads of people that you know, but I can't help but think it would be brilliant if other people could get to go too, instead of the same people going all the time. And it's really refreshing when you see groups of children there sharing what they've been doing with technology in their classroom, and kids and young people presenting on the Canva stand, and it's just amazing to see that energy. And there was a few Scottish people as well presenting on the Canva stand in particular. Actually, Brilliant. There was Falkirk Council were there. They've done a big iPad rollout recently, so they were there. What's the name? Is it Kerry Abercrombie? From Falkirk Council.
Yeah, Aileen mentions her quite a bit. Yeah.
Right, I didn't actually catch her on the Canva stand. It was only when I left Bett that I realised she'd been there and presenting, because I would have gone along to that. But it's great to see Scottish stories being told. I think Fife Council were there as well, talking about their iPad rollout. And I think they were maybe with XMA. XMA, if you don't know, is a big technology provider they've got the contract for providing all the mobile devices to Scottish schools. It's kind of, I suppose, for people who don't know, what does Bett stand for? Do we know?
I'm gonna have to go and search this
because it must be something to do with education technology, I would imagine. But
look.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it even stands for anything. It might not. It might just be like a random collection of letters. It's essentially. I'm going to just keep talking about
Yeah,
it.
go for it while I'm searching.
Up.
I'll let you know when I find it.
It's essentially a big conference. If anyone's ever been to like the Ideal Home Show, or I don't know, what shows will people go to? It's like a conference in a big exhibition centre, like the SEC, but like 10 times bigger. So it's in a place called the London XL, which is down at the Docklands near London City Airport. So I'm a bit of a plane geek, and I usually like to stand on the terrace at Bett watching the planes landing at London City Airport. I know.
Yep. Having a great time.
But right, so
There
it's the British Educational Training and Technology Show. There we are.
Yeah.
We should have probably known that, eh?
It says it was inaugurated in 1985. So
what?
It's been around for a long time. It's currently in London, it's in Bangkok and Sao Paulo as well. So it's
and they're bringing it. There was a big signs up everywhere saying they were bringing it to America. So yeah, it's kind of like the way it worked this year, and I don't know if I can't remember if it's been like this every other year, but you know how they have zones, so they'll have like. There's this great big concourse goes right down the middle of the exhibition centre, and I reckon it's probably about a mile long. I mean, it might not be that much.
It's
but
huge though, isn't it? Like
I didn't
you
track
don't wear
my
trainers
steps.
or like comfy shoes when you go, don't you? Because it is massive.
Do you know, it's so funny because everybody says this, right?
Aye.
And do you know Darren White? So Darren White is a guy who does education technology for a big multi-academy trust down in England. He's also on the Bett advisory board, and he's appearing in season 4 of our podcast, if you heard me mention it at the beginning. But Darren did a brilliant LinkedIn post that I didn't see again until after Bett. Sure. LinkedIn's algorithm is a bit bizarre at times,
me as well.
But anyway, Darren had done this brilliant like first timers guide to going to Bett, and he gave 3 tips. But one of his tips I thought was brilliant because I used to do this, like I deliberately used to do it. His tip was wear comfy shoes, but take a second pair of shoes. Now I wish I'd seen that tip, because I used to follow it. I remember last year when we were there, or the year before, and you and I were there, and I remember a great strategy was wearing one pair of shoes on day 1 and knackering your feet in them, getting sore feet in them. But then when you put on your different pair of shoes on day 2, it feels like a refresher. Yeah, you're like, oh, my feet aren't so tired of these. Like, my feet are quite enjoying these shoes. Now, So basically, right, I schoolboy errored this on 2 counts. 1, I just took 1 pair of shoes. And secondly, they were new.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they were Docs or something, but new shoes
No, they were new shoes.
Oh, yeah, brave.
So what happened to me was, on day 1, I loved my new shoes, by the way. Really nice new trainers. Great. They were very comfortable, so I thought, these will be fine.
Yeah, they'll be great.
No. The minute you start doing a few thousand steps in new shoes, the heel blisters are there within an hour. Yeah. And so I was bleeding through my socks at the heels.
Oh,
and at the end of day 1, I felt like I couldn't actually walk. And I had quite a good strategy where I realised the heels were slipping, so I tied my laces really tight. This has turned into the shoe podcast. And I tied my laces really tight so they stopped slipping, but then my top of my feet got sore because my laces were too tight. Honestly, it's so funny. But it's so funny, the number of conversations I had with people where they were like, oh, my feet are killing me. And I'm like, right, this is the biggest Bett takeaway. It's not, like, everybody thinks it's about AI. It's not. It's about shoes. Yeah. The Bett takeaway is wear comfy shoes. So my experience,
because it's not just during the day as well either, because people have lots of meetups at night. So you literally you wake up early, get there nice and early, go and meet everyone, go and take part in all the go and see all the stalls and all the talks and everything that's going on. And then there's like this whole other night world as well that takes over, and people have meetups and you can go and catch up with others. There's mixers, lots of different things that are happening. Yeah. Was that the same again this time?
Pretty much, yeah, but I missed I was invited to one. I was invited to the Everway big event that everybody gets excited about.
Yep.
But my feet were too sore. I couldn't go. Like, I literally couldn't have walked the length of myself to get to the train to take me there. I was just done.
Where do you stay for it as well? Because London obviously is a very busy place, and if you've got hundreds of thousands of people, maybe I don't know if it's hundreds of thousands, probably will be, that are just descending on the same place. Is it easy to get accommodation? Do you fly down? Do you train? Obviously, you're coming from Scotland. What's the route there?
Well, quite incredible actually, because I would say there are tips for this. So all the accommodation around about Bett, which is anything near London City Airport or the XL Centre, that is really expensive because it's booked up. So you know how hotels work, the busier they get, the more expensive they get. So a lot of them, when I was looking, I mean, I decided to go about a couple of weeks before I went, and I started looking at hotels, and it was like, I don't know, I was even looking at like cheap travel lodges, and it was like still going to be 600 quid for the 2 or 3 nights.
Ouch.
But then I looked at Travel Lodge in Greenwich, and Greenwich is actually pretty close to where the XL is. It's across the river, and it's on the DLR, the Docklands Light Railway. So there's a nice connection to it, like an easy train connection. And Ubers are only like a tenner to get from Greenwich to the XL. Yeah. So actually Greenwich is a good place to stay. So it was like, I ended up getting a Travel Lodge hotel in Greenwich for £118 for 2 nights. For the 2 nights.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Down from 600 down.
Yeah. 118. And I was like a brand new hotel.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
is that the same side as is it the big O2 place where you've got to get the ski lift over? Is that side?
It's on that side of the river, yeah.
Nice.
I don't know what you would call it, south side, I suppose.
Possibly, yeah.
It's got Southwark and all that, yeah.
Aye.
So, yeah, I would recommend Greenwich is a good place to stay, but a lot of people stay around about Docklands and Canary Wharf.
Sure.
Because that's quite close as well. But yeah, do you know what? It makes you realise when you go down to London for an event like that and you're there for a few days, it makes you realise just how big London is and how difficult it is to travel from one section to another. Like, it could take you an hour.
Yeah.
Like, when I arrived on day one, I arrived into King's Cross Station, and I think my train was a little bit delayed, so I got in there at like, I don't know, 2:45 or something, and I was supposed to be going, 2:45, but I was supposed to be going to a Scottish educators meetup with the smart boards.
Yeah.
They were putting together this meetup, and I really wanted to go to it. It was the reason I went down on the Wednesday, but then I just couldn't get there in time for it because of the time of my train arriving and whatever else. So yeah, it takes a long time just to travel within London. And
aye.
Yeah.
So you said there, can I just ask, you said about kind of the meetups and getting invited. How do you get invited? Because if you don't know these people and you don't know
well, that's it.
Where these things are happening, how do you find out about these events and meetups?
I think what's really good is that there is a kind of community around people who are into education technology. And in some ways that's great, but it's also in some ways part of the problem for other people, because everybody that's in the community of EdTech people knows everyone.
Yes.
Which is fantastic because you build your own little community and you get to go to these things. But then I think about people who are just, becoming a digital lead in their school for the first time or taking over like a new role. And, and I suppose, you become connected through social media and projects and whatever else. But yeah, I think that is part of the thing. There's a danger of it being a bit cliché, I suppose, where it's only the people like in the know that get on the... I mean, I suppose every industry must be the same.
Yeah.
But I guess becoming part of online communities and networks is a good place to start. And there is a bit of a community, but the community doesn't really have anywhere to live.
No.
It's kind of bits of people on LinkedIn.
Since the downfall of Twitter, it's really been hard, hasn't it?
Totally. Yeah. And actually, it really is Twitter, isn't it? Like, there isn't... Like, I know a lot of people jumped over to Blue Sky, but, yeah, I mean...
I wasn't
They didn't do it for me.
Nah.
It did, like... I don't know. And I do miss Twitter a lot from the EdTech point of view.
Yep.
Because people did share there a lot.
It was great.
And I think they're starting to do it a wee bit on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn, I think, still got that professional vibe.
It does, doesn't it?
It's just not as informal, is it? And the algorithm, I cannot make sense of its algorithm at all.
No, you see things from like 4 weeks ago, and you're like, I
you're like,
that. Aye. It's not, what I find with LinkedIn is it's not a social media that I can just sit and scroll. Like, I don't get sucked into it and lose 40 minutes.
No.
I'm like, okay, done, gone. Had enough of it.
I wonder why that is. That's interesting, isn't it? It's maybe
TikTok,
the lack of video.
Time just gone.
Yeah.
Instagram, we mostly Facebook as well would just draw me in, and I'm reading absolute rubbish. There's not anything that I'm wanting.
And
to
is it
look
because?
But
is it because it's reels maybe on like it's video on TikTok and reels on Facebook and Instagram? Maybe that's it. Like, I mean, LinkedIn, when you see someone who's done like a big massive post of writing, you're like,
I do just go, nah.
Yeah. So maybe it's to do with the type of content.
Aye.
Interesting.
I always look for a wee TLDR and what have I not read?
Yes. Yeah. Just to keep up to date. But more and more people are seeming to use LinkedIn for networking and I mean, like I've had quite a lot of messages from people as well, which is nice.
See, that's
on
good.
LinkedIn. So it's a funny one, isn't it?
It's really taken over as my preferred one as well. Although maybe that's a good thing that I don't get sucked into it. Maybe that is why I like it.
I'm going to pause this podcast just for a second. It is a little appeal. I'm not going to take much of your time, but if you could follow us at Digitize Crew, we are on most of the social platforms. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. The number of YouTube subscriptions that we get really affects how well this podcast does. Niall and I just do it for fun, but we really care about it and we really enjoy it. And we want more and more people to listen to it, and we want more brilliant guests. So if you're interested in being on the podcast, give us a shout. And if you're interested in helping us to grow, we're just two little guys from Scotland, and we'd really appreciate it if you could share this with anyone you know who's into education, brilliant, exciting learning, and I suppose technology we mention now and then. We might mention AI now and then. But really, what we're all about is bringing you just, exciting stuff that could happen in your classroom to benefit your students. So, give us a share, give us a like, give us a follow, help us out. Thank you.
What does it look like? Like when you said stalls, I'm thinking like a Christmas market or like a school fair. When you say like there's the stalls and there's the what did you call it? Different sets and there's the Google stand and what does all that mean? What does it look like?
I think unless you've been to like a trade show or an exhibition, then it's probably quite hard to understand that. But I would think like if you've been to a big exhibition in like the SEC or the NEC in Birmingham and they tend to, I suppose what most people would, like the old Scottish Learning Festival, is like a mini Bett. So if anyone was ever at the Scottish Learning Festival, that's a bit like Bett. If you've been to a big trade show, the stalls, when I say stalls, that's probably a misnomer. I mean, some of them are little stalls. Like I think they do like cheaper stalls for like little startups and whatever else. So there are like smaller, I suppose they're like just, it's a big massive exhibition and conference space. But when I was at the Scottish Learning Festival, I was working for Education Scotland at the time, and I was involved in the stand build. No, it wasn't when I was working, it was when I was running Tablet Academy. We took over a big section and ran like loads of EdTech stuff.
Smart.
But it made you realise how they work, right? There's a big team of like tradespeople all arrive in these big exhibition centres, and if there's a big show on, they're fitting carpets. So there's carpets being fitted everywhere, down like aisles and off shoot aisles because it's all on a grid, and there'll be these stands which are like rooms essentially, open fronted rooms, like shops almost.
Yeah.
But some of them must cost a fortune. Like, I've had a little bit of an insight from a few companies of how much it costs to put on a stand at Bett, and it's like eye-watering.
Yep.
Like,
well, not even just
hundreds of
buying
thousands.
the set, like actually buying your spot as well.
Yeah, the spot is a fortune. It's a lot of money. So these companies are investing a lot of money in being there. Especially, like, you should have seen the size of the Canva stand. Like, actually, Niall, do you know what? You and I love Canva. You
Yes,
and I
big fan.
have been involved in Canva since nobody really knew what Canva was.
Yeah.
Like, we were using Canva, I don't know when, but like a long time ago.
A while back,
And
yep.
doing training on it a long time ago.
Yep.
In fact, I'm pretty sure the first time we went to Bett, Canva weren't even there. And it wasn't
Right, okay,
really
sure.
pitching
Yeah.
itself as an EdTech product. And then I remember going there 2 years ago, and it was amazing to see that Canva were like sponsoring things.
Yep.
Like the napkins in the cafes had Canva for education. And like, I think they had like quite a little stall. But
Aye.
this year, they were one of the biggest stands. Like, it was massive. And it's all beautifully designed. Like, so
it would be,
there's like stunning. It was very kind of like googly in the Google stand. And if you don't know what that looks like, you'll see some video. If you're watching this on YouTube,
Yeah.
we are going to have little clips of some of the stands, so this will all make sense if you're watching it.
Yep.
And we pop in some of the interviews and clips, but yeah, they're beautifully designed. The Google stand's always stunning. It's all got like natural wood and like really nice like Google logos and all the Google colours for seats and carpets, and like it becomes like a big
really
presentation theatre almost.
Yeah.
And they have big screens, and they have people doing presentations about education technology all day, every day. They must be like 20 or 30 people wearing Google t-shirts on the Google stand, and it's all beautifully colour coordinated, and they give away bits of swag. Can't remember what swag stands for either, but I'm sure we looked it up a couple of years ago.
Right, I'm going to have to find this as well.
I know, sorry, Niall. But basically, swag is the free stuff that people at conferences give away. So you usually get branded pens and tote bags and... wait a minute. I think I've got some, actually. I think I've got some. Yeah. I'm
not finding what swag officially means, so I'm going to jump back to the call for this and see it.
All right, yeah. But yeah, I got like a little charging, thanks to Tanya from Lightspeed Systems. I got
brilliant.
like a little charging thing and a water bottle, and they had good swag actually.
Yeah,
and it's the only swag I actually picked up because I didn't want to carry it. But a lot of educators and the children from schools that go there, they're on a mission to get free stuff. And like a lot of people go on a mission to get the free t-shirts and socks and whatever else. And there's like, where do you get the best swag? Well, do you know what was really interesting? What Canva did this year is they had like roped off queuing system, right? At their stand. There was like, like you would get at a nightclub if you were queuing to get in a nightclub, roped off like that, and you had to basically get a number, and then a buzzer went off, excuse me, when it was your time to go and collect your Canva tote bag
like
with
in
all
a
your
pizza.
stuff in it.
Like it's time to get your pizza.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I think it was that. It was Aileen that was telling me about it because she'd gone and done it, but I didn't actually stand in the queue to get any Canva swag. But I did speak to someone on the Canva stand, a lovely gentleman whose name I've forgotten. He was Spanish, but he did a great little interview all about Canva code. And
cool.
Magic Canva. Have we seen Magic Studio in Canva? Where like this was new to me because we are Canva fans, but the things are changing.
Is that all the AI stuff?
It's AI generated lessons, it's like cool. AI. Yeah, it's like a studio for creating AI. Like you can create games and activities and all sorts. And we keep abreast of EdTech and all the changes, but this stuff is new. Yep. And there's like a whole studio to create interactive like learning experiences within Canva now,
See, that's cool.
generated by AI. like unbelievable. That was one of the big takeaways this year, was that almost like I remember going before, and I remember thinking like AI was this big like sort of unknown almost. It's like AI's grown up at Bett this year, because you could really clearly see the integration in all the tools. So every single tool I saw, from like Kahoot and Padlet, Canva, like all these big EdTech products, where there used to be just one thing, right? I mean, Canva was always a design tool, right?
Yes.
And it's now brought in, like, it's becoming quite a powerful video editor, Canva. I've actually got a really funny story, right, about Canva, because I was doing video training using Canva's video editor a few weeks back, and I started doing my training. I did it one day, and then I went in the next day to do the next session, and they completely changed the editor.
You got the upgrade.
And I was like, what? And the woman that was training is like, what's going on? I'm like, software updates out regularly. We're just going to roll back to the old version. But yeah, it was like one of these things, like when you're doing technical training, it can happen where you're like, wait a minute, that wasn't there yesterday.
Was it Canva that you used for the Christmas episode? Is that how you put together?
Yes.
Yeah. So you edited that whole podcast using Canva?
In Canva. Because I was up against it for time, and I knew that it was a quick, but then I left a big pause in the middle of it that I only saw when I watched it through the end. And I'm like...
It was, you know what, folk have really enjoyed it, because we're hearing from others, we're getting the questions, we got to pick the brains, and it was a bit of fun as well. So yeah,
it was a bit of fun.
Yes,
it wasn't as slick as when it's a Nile produced episode. it was definitely not as slick as a Nile, but do you know what? I know Canva really well, so I knew I could do it quickly.
And you know what? It was nice because I watched these episodes within an inch of their life. Like, I know every single part of each episode in and out, because I've had to really like tweak it and hone in on it. So it was really nice to actually sit back and be a viewer, because I was involved in getting the questions and supporting you in that way. But I didn't know what your answers were going to be. I didn't know how the edit was going to be. I didn't know what all the looks were going to be like. So yeah, it was really nice to be a viewer in that.
Yeah, it was good fun, actually. I quite enjoyed it. I actually think we should maybe do some more episodes like that, where we have like people's questions, or like maybe, you know, get some different formats going on. It was good fun. I liked it.
You're talking about all these huge companies. Like, I know there's like Lenovo, you've got Google, you've got there's usually like an F1 car company there as well.
Yeah.
Was there? Yep.
Yeah.
So
in
like,
the foyer.
There's these massive companies that are there. What about the little guy? Like, is there anybody like, are there little stalls for people to go to for all the startups? Do people meet up in other places? How does this all work?
They keep changing it. Like, they had something this year. I didn't take part in any of them, but there was something called Table Talks. There was a thing this year where people were sitting around tables having discussions. They always have like a startup area where there's like little tiny stalls. Like, I remember one year, the year you were there, I think, where they just had like a little wooden sort of pop-up, more like a market stall.
And you could go in and
and you could just speak to people, and that was like the EdTech startup area. Interestingly, what they had done this year was, you've got that big central concourse down the middle, which does the kind of the big mile, and there's, you know, coffee shops and sandwich outlets and everything all the way down there, and seating areas. But what they'd done is, one half of the exhibition space was called the teaching and learning zone, and the other half was the like tech zone, where so all the device people like Lenovo and HP and Intel and they were all in that half, and the teaching and learning half was more Google, Microsoft, Canva, all the kind of tools you would use for teaching and learning, I suppose. So that was quite a nice separation, because like, I'm not as interested in all the device stuff, for example. I'm more interested in the teaching and learning stuff, but it's weird because I didn't venture into the device area until the Friday, and actually I had really good fun when I was there. I met like Class VR were there. I saw Simon on the Class VR stand, but he was in the middle of talking to someone, so I didn't get a chance to speak to him. But Lego Education were in there as well.
Cool.
And I was like, that's
Why,
odd
yeah.
that they're in this area, because you'd expect them to be in the, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was, I suppose it ended up being a bit of a mismatch. But
Aye.
yeah, you have got these massive tech companies all there,
Yep.
all trying to market their products
Yep.
to educators. So yeah.
How does that work? So I'm like in Scotland, the educators don't honestly have that much of a say. It's
No.
more coming from the local authorities. It's more coming from Scottish government, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you see many teachers going? So I'm thinking of when I was at university, they told us go to the Scottish Learning Festival while you're at uni, because as a teacher you will never get to go because it's during the week. Do you see
so annoying,
teachers there? Or is it more like the local authority leads? Is it who is there?
I think there are some teachers there, but it's the same in England. Like, I mean, English people are obviously, it's more accessible, so
Sure.
they could travel there more readily.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of pupils go. So there's a lot of English maths in schools take groups of pupils.
Sure.
There was a lot of
For the
people
swag.
from Leo Academy for the swag. But they're doing presentations and stuff as well, I
Aye.
suppose is good. So
Yeah.
suppose there are teachers there taking groups of pupils to talk about what they've done, and there are teachers there who maybe like have managed to, you know, get some time out and go.
Aye.
But I think it's probably the same as it is at the Scottish Learning Festival. The majority of people are like MAT digital leads, so
Sure.
multi-academy trust digital people, like Darren, you know, and people from Leo Academy Trust. They're doing a lot just now. They had a lot of young people there with them as well, talking about this whole EdTech
Oh, brilliant.
thing.
Yes.
Fiona Aubrey-Smith was down with them a lot, and
Oh,
so there's
brilliant.
a lot of good stuff going on about the National EdTech partnership or alliance?
Oh, I'm not too sure.
I can't remember, but it's like
I know they're doing
there's
amazing
this
things down there.
really good stuff. So that was good, but yeah, it's a big, in some ways, like when I worked for Education Scotland, we were heavily involved in the Scottish Learning Festival, and I used to say, and loads of other people, it wasn't just me that said this, loads of other people would be like, why do we have this on a Wednesday and Thursday
Yep.
when actually everybody's teaching?
Yeah.
And like, I think
Why?
it worked because it was Glasgow in service days, I think. I think that they had it in September. It was always in September, and it was always when Glasgow schools had in service days. But see, as a business, you would go to that and you'd be like, well, this isn't really like my target market,
No.
because it was mostly university students.
Yep.
And you'd be
As
like,
10 years ago they were telling us.
yeah, exactly. and that's great. Like, great for them to go and see that and something. But if you're a business and you've spent like 20, 30, 40, 50 and way more £1,000 on your stand, I don't know.
not worth it.
But
No.
I think, do you know
them.
what is one of the biggest things at Bett is international visitors. So many
Yes.
people.
Uh-huh.
So many people from America and like the United Arab Emirates, like
Yes.
loads of like
I
Middle
remember
East
so
in
when
general.
one of the times that we went down, I was working on the Microsoft stand, which was really cool. It
Yes.
was awesome. I totally forgot about that until just now.
Yeah,
I've still got
remember
the jumper
that.
in there.
Yeah, that jumper that
Yep.
gave you fluffy oos everywhere.
Yes, covered everywhere. But it was,
Remember that.
yeah, it was an amazing experience. And yet there were people from UAE coming and asking questions like, how do
Yeah.
you use this in your schools, so that we can kind of better understand how we're going to take this back to our schools and kind of share the learning. And they had tons of like, I was really lucky that I was in a section talking about accessibility, purely because
Yes.
I
That's
know
your
my
jam.
stuff. I can hark on about it. So I was talking about all the accessibility tools with them and sharing how they can make a difference to the lives of the young people.
Yeah.
And that's amazing to think that that's gone from just us in the United Kingdom,
I know.
all the way out to all these other countries.
I really got a flavour of the international feel of it. Like,
Yeah.
it really did feel like you were in a cosmopolitan environment where you were hearing like lots of different accents and languages, and
Brilliant.
you really got the feel. I mean, it is the largest education technology show in the world. So it
Yeah.
makes sense that people from all over the world would descend on London for it. You know, it's obviously worth it for them. And I think, I mean, different education systems work in different ways, don't they? Like, and I think probably there's a lot to do about where the money in the world lies. Like, there's clearly wealth in these other systems and countries that, and maybe freedom to travel and do things like that we would never get
Just
as
don't get a
educators
chance
in
to.
the UK. Like, doesn't happen really,
But that's amazing to think, like, because we talk a lot about our niche as a business, as a podcast. And I do get the impression that we are a very tight knit community as in EdTech.
Yes.
Like there's a feeling of there's not many of us, but when you go to places like these conferences in Bett, there are hundreds of thousands of people that are interested. So my question for you, Pam, is, how did you try to get people to listen to the podcast whilst you were down in Bett? Did you take any cards? Did you take any swag? Did you take anything to get them to take part in this podcast?
Hilarious, Niall. So basically, I treated myself to some new microphones. So I got those little DJI clip-on mics, so two of them, you know, in the charging case, right? And I took my gimbal for filming, right? And I also took a bunch of ducks.
Why ducks?
I took about 200 ducks, right? Because I don't know why. I know, I took about 200 little mini rubber ducks, right? And my idea was, because I did this at business breakfast a few weeks ago, and it was all about getting your digital ducks in a row, right? And it's basically my metaphor for everyone, really, that if we are going to embrace AI and automation, we can't really do that until we've got our digital ducks in a row. So, like, if a school wanted to introduce automation, they're never going to do that using CMIS and its antiquated system, and you know, like, or like, you know, on computer software. It needs to be cloud. It needs to be, you know, it needs to be Google Workspace or Microsoft 365, so that your data, your digital ducks are all in a row, and all your data can feed off to the automations. So this works especially well in business. So it really resonated with a lot of.
You've only got 2 in your hand, which makes me think you've given out, 198 ducks?
No, I forgot. I'm not being funny. It's the biggest letdown and disappointment of my year, because I'm having a really positive energy year, and everything's going really positively. And I got excited about my ducks. Filled my, rucksack with them, carried them all. I went on the train to London, took them all down on the train, and I've actually got a really funny story, right? Because I totally forgot to hand them out. I would speak to people, interview them, like, you'll see them coming up in the rest of the episode. Speaking to people, and what I intended to do was get a selfie of them with the duck.
Great.
For social media. But no, I was so excited to talk to them that I completely forgot about the duck, and I would walk away going, flipping heck, I forgot about the ducks. So what was really funny is, right, I don't think I gave out one single duck, right? But I got to King's Cross station my train was really late on the Friday night. It was like 8:30 at night. It was like the last train out of London. I didn't get into Edinburgh until 20 to 1. But as I was at King's Cross, I don't know if you remember, they've got these like concrete seats out the front.
Right, okay, yeah, I remember that, yeah.
I used that, I was there for having a coffee, and I put my suitcase down, and I did a bit of a shuffle where I was getting my laptop out for the train, making sure I had my charger and my headphones.
Put it all in the right order.
That's another thing I stupidly did. I forgot to take headphones with me. That's like,
what?
I know, I had to buy new headphones at the station because I was determined I was watching the Tutors final on the train on the way home. So I needed to buy new headphones, so I went and bought new headphones. But the funny thing was, right, before I did that, I unpacked my suitcase. I had my suitcase open outside the station, and I was moving stuff. And of course, the 200 ducks were spilling all over the place, right? And there was this young couple next to me, right? And it was a guy who had a guitar and an amp, and it was all in a wee trolley, right? And his girlfriend, and they were like, "Oh, ducks!" And I was like, Do you want one? Because I brought 200 of them with me, and I've not given out any. And they were like, why did you do that? So then I told them the story, and they were like, well, can we have one? And I was like, yeah. So I gave them a little duck, right?
Nice.
And the guy then followed me on Instagram, and he said, I'm travelling up to Leeds to do a gig, and I'm going to give you a shout out and show the duck at my gig. And I was like, well,
that's
worth
brilliant.
Taking them.
Nice one. Right, okay, so
funny.
We're going to have to put their link to the band in the show
Yes,
notes as well then.
we
so
will
please
actually.
do go and check them out. Yes.
I will. Yeah, because the guy, they were lovely, and they were really delighted with their ducks. And I thought, oh, little duck, that was worth you travelling all the way to London for. But yeah, maybe we should, like, I don't know, we need to do something with these ducks. I'm thinking I might get like some kind of QR codey thing on them, and like, I don't know. Besides that, or I could just have a bath filled with them.
Yeah, I just have a giant digitized bath, just all your ducks everywhere.
But yeah, it worked more in a business breakfast meeting where I had, we've also got a thing on our website which is called the Ducks Scorecard. So people do like a little self-assessment of their business and see how ready they are for AI. And so the ducks made more sense in that than they did for me taking 200 of them to Bett. But, you know.
It makes a
we
good
live
story.
and learn. Exactly.
Pam, honestly, thank you so much for leading us through your Bett
I'm
journey.
sorry, I could just talk all night. I'm sorry I've talked so long
I love
now.
It. I think we've bounced well. I think it's been good. I thank you as well for taking the time during your whole Bett experience to get video content for us to go and explore. We'll put that up just at the end of this episode so that everybody can go and explore Bett themselves and meet people like Aileen and Patrick and kind of see what their experiences were as well. So thanks, Pam.
Do you know what I did? I just set out on a wee bit of a mission because you know we've talked in this episode about how it's all us EdTech geeks that get to go to Bett, and what I did is I set out on a wee bit of a mission just to bring a bit of Bett to everybody else who is kind of, the old expression would have been at the chalk face, but in the classroom, and hopefully you'll get to hear a bit about it and hear from these big companies that actually are building really cool stuff for you to use with your young people. So, you know, that's the ultimate, isn't it? It's all about the kids and the learning, and yeah, we just wanted to bring a bit of that. So thank you for listening. Thank you for checking out our Bett content. I know you're probably like, didn't even know Bett existed, but that's part of our mission with this. We just want to tell you about it because it is a great experience, and it would be brilliant if other educators could go. And do you know what? See, if our financial position has changed significantly between now and next year's Bett, I'm going to make a commitment right now that we will sponsor a teacher to go.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, because actually it wouldn't cost us a huge amount of money, but we will sponsor someone from the school community. I don't know who it is. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah,
and I'm banking on us bringing in some more contracts and getting more projects on the go for this. But yeah, I would love it if we could have someone else come down with us and just sharing it, because it's really good. My sister's going to be like, take me, Pam.
Yep. Your DMs are going to be full now.
But this is our official appeal to Niall's head teacher for next year, for him to officially perhaps get to come, even for a day.
Marion, I hope you're listening.
Yeah. Because it's a brilliant experience, and I just wish every teacher could get to go. So thanks for listening to the episode, and I'm so excited about season 4.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, isn't it? Thank you, Pam. Well, we'll see everybody again soon. Cheers.
Take care. Cheers. I'm at Digitize Pal. It's Aileen Wallace. Aileen, we were chatting a minute ago about school AI, and you were talking to me about chatbots, and I thought we need to actually capture this. Tell us about that and what you've done in your classroom with school AI.
So chatbots, a lot of people that stick straight away, ChatGPT, can't put kids on it, obviously for security reasons.
Yeah.
What I'm loving about school AI is I can create my own personal one. that I can tell it, here's the resources for the lesson. I want you to be friendly with them. Or if it's a senior class, okay, let's be more serious so you can set the style. You put the students on it and they can work away. And it means you've suddenly got an independent tutor for every single child in your classroom. Now, some of them won't use it. That's absolutely fine. But for some of them that maybe don't want to put their hand up because they're stuck, they can ask a chatbot, they build a little confidence, and the next thing you know, they're taking part in the lessons. One of the best ways I saw it using, I set it up with his first year class. And one of the boys then prompted it to act as a game. And I'll be honest, my teacher instinct at first went, no, that's not what we're doing back. And then I watched him and he was doing the task I set, but as a choose your own adventure thing.
Oh my goodness.
And then his pals worked out what he did. So he went around the classroom and they trained each other how to re-prompt the chatbot to make their own adventure.
That's brilliant.
They were still doing my lesson, but they'd taken control of it, they'd taken ownership of it, and it just blew my mind. It was amazing to watch the kids.
So one thing that really strikes me is how big the Canva education stand is here at Bett. It is massive. Affinity featuring in there as well, of course, now. Well, look how big the Canva stand is. It is absolutely massive. Let me see if I can get someone from Canva to speak to us. But it is a huge stand. Just got an interesting question on the Kahoot stand just now. What percentage of features are using AI to create or update lesson plans? Let's see what people think. Only 29%. That's quite surprising, isn't it? So 29% of teachers are using AI. So there's a big opportunity. These are more teachers. I am here with Fran, who is community manager for Spain for Canva.
Exactly.
So, Fran, I'm here just to share what's new, what's fresh with Canva.
Come with me. This is magic activity. As I said, the only thing that you need is a prompt, where the first part is something related with a student will be able to. The second part is a learning specific verb, like investigate, research, explore, compare. You can use all of them. And last but not least, the specific topic.
So Canva's recently acquired Affinity, so professional quality design tools. Big message coming there that Canva is a product for everyone. Right, I'm at an exciting stand. I'm at Book Creator and Cami, and I'm with Andrew Campbell, who's an old friend of Digitize, and he's going to tell us all about what he's doing.
Good to see you, Rams. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on. So yeah, a very exciting year for us here in Met. So first year as Cami and Book Creators, so you can spin around it, be proud to see. So
it's like coming together at two big EdTech fortunes.
It is, and it's been lovely for us this year because Cami's really grown in presence here in the UK. It's massive in America, and it's really starting to grow here in the UK as well, and always developing. But the love we've had this year to stand for Book Creator is off the charts. Everybody's going saying, "Oh, it's Book Creator," and you're Cami, and you're together now. So it's been.
So see that integration and that coming together. What has it meant for the product?
For the products, we're still sort of really putting that together, how they work together. A lot of the developments coming into that as well as how we bring those together. But as a kind of an ecosystem of it, it's like Cami's there. We've got your learning. Teachers are sharing resources with their students, and they're using Cami to help them with their learning and completing the workflow for teachers of that event, like those documents that they're shared.
Okay, so I'm with Rennie from Lego Education, and how can schools and educators get involved with Lego Education? What sort of things can you do?
So we just announced our computer science and AI, so that's a domain that we can help you guys with. We also have our offering here that I'm responsible for is our science sets.
Cool.
So we have from 5+, 8+, and 11+. We have the sets with 40 lessons in each. So that's kind of what we are bringing to the table, is a playful way to learn things that are actually very tight curriculum stuff.
So is this like a kit schools can buy, yeah?
This is exactly a kit. So here, what you see here is our 11 plus set, so it's the oldest kits. And this box is shared between 4 students. So as I mentioned before, like collaboration is baked in. Each student has a minifigure that represents a role.
Cool.
And then when they're done building the instructed part, they actually have the second half of the lesson where they can open-endedly create exactly what they have in their mind, express their knowledge, but also their passions.
Wow.
And each set here has 40 lessons and it's shared by 4 students, so it's a bit more accessible.
Yeah.
It's easier to carry around in the school. Try to really make sure.
I managed to find someone from Padlet. I found Owen. Owen Myers is going to speak to us. He's just going to give us a little chat about what's new in Padlet. Nice to meet you, Owen.
Thank you so much for having us, Pam. Yeah, so Padlet, we're super excited to announce a couple of new features. What's new and exciting within Padlet specifically is Padlet Teacher TA. It's called Padlet Teacher's Assistant.
Okay.
And so it's really built around these interactive activities.
Brilliant.
And so our artificial intelligence engine uses a very simple sort of prompting method. We just start with the grade level in the year, the topic and learning objective, any additional context.
Yeah.
If you've got worksheets or other files that you like to throw in, you can certainly do that here, and it'll sort of adapt that to make it an interactive learning activity. Same thing with Google Drive and YouTube. And I'll show you a couple of examples that have already been made in our community tab. And just as a shameless plug, this is free and unlimited until June of this year. So get your kicks in.
I love it.
And so, yeah, this is what it looks like when it's all done. So yeah, just a great interactive activity for those kids. You can let them play here. Amazing. And this is what your student will see. You'll be able to play here and submit. And then at the very end, they'll see an amazing little leaderboard.
The leaderboard.
Yes, there's a leaderboard. We know the students love to compete, so.
I found a friend of the podcast. I found Patrick. I saw him earlier on the Google stand doing a bit of a presentation, but he's here now. He's going to talk to us on the podcast. So let's see what Patrick's got to say.
Some kind of a system this year. So Wednesday I ran around like a headless chicken trying to see everything. So if you haven't been to Bett before, it can be quite overwhelming because there's so many shiny objects. So I did that yesterday and I was really tired last night. So today I'm a bit more measured. I'm just going to some talks.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good advice. What would you give? What's the must-see things, do you think, this year, Patrick? What should I go and see?
The must see, I actually spent quite a bit of time at the STEM things yesterday as well, because just kind of to something I have an area of interest as well.
Yeah.
And then there's so many great stands. Obviously, those 2 letters, AI are prominent.
Everywhere, Everywhere. Like, everywhere.
And even tools like Padlet and Edpuzzle tools that who you wouldn't necessarily associate with AI first and foremost, they're coming with their AI offerings.
Everyone's integrating it, aren't they? It's just everywhere. Yeah, phenomenal. One of the things I'm doing here at Bett is just trying to capture a little bits of this, because so many Scottish teachers and schools never get to come
We
here
don't get to do this.
and never get to see it. So
You're lucky. I mean, I'm lucky I get the time out.
yeah,
But you're still having to pay for it out of your own pocket.
yeah, are you? Right.
So it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time, and if schools don't know about this and people don't understand what they can learn. So I just come down from the Google Tech Lab. They were showing us how you could use Notebook with students, and you're sitting there going, I want to do this.
I know.
It's such a shame that more people don't get to come down.
Yeah. But what's your big Bett takeaway from this year? What's the big message? I mean, it's surely AI.
AI is the big message.
It's everywhere.
But what's coming over to me is that companies that are listening to teachers
Yeah.
and are finding out. So I was just talking to the guy in Lego,
Yeah.
and I was asking, how long is this lesson meant to last? He went, about 40 minutes, because we know you've got to get them in the room, you've got to get them settled.
Yeah.
So it's not the AI and the tech whiz stuff. It's that our companies are talking to teachers, they're visiting classrooms and going, okay, we can't actually give them a 50-minute thing.
Amazing.
Because a lesson isn't 50 minutes. And the closer we get tech and teaching, I think the better an outcome we're going to get.
Absolutely. Okay, I'll just stop by the Google stand, try and see the big messages are. So about Gemini, busy stand as always. see if people don't know what Cami is,
Yeah.
because some of our audience might not.
Yeah.
It's somewhat up for us if you could.
It's a thing, but I would say that you sort of look back, go forward. It started off as a PDF annotator. It's really big during COVID.
Yeah.
But it's blown up over the last couple of years. It's become a full learning platform, really. It's not just PDF annotator anymore. Back when we talk about PDFs anymore, it's a learning platform. If you've got resources, if you've got worksheets that you're printing off, you're spending thousands on printing, just pop them into Cami. And the great thing is you've got the workflow with that, but it's the accessibility that we've added into it recently is the key for me, which really harnessing AI tools. That's our dip into AI, and we'll talk about today, but using AI to make documents, make resources so understandable for students and tailoring them. And it's the differentiation that comes with that. So like we imagine a teacher at the minute looking at a class and thinking, I have so many different needs. How do I cater for all of them? Cami allows the students to do the differentiation for themselves. There's like what works for them and help them understand the learning. So, and then we're book creator kind of saying after that is they've done their learning and we need to give them a way to express that learning and a fun and engaging way to do that. And that for book creator allows them to do that. And it's not just about, it is about creative writing, it is about engagement, but it's also about the curriculum as well and building that, using that engagement to take it as a level further to express what they've learned. Really looking at that UDL side of things, is just giving them options that work for them and that interest them and just make them want to do it.
I'm here with John from Ascenti, and we're at the Active Floor stand here at Bett. John, tell us about this product. I love it. It looks amazing. Tell us.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so Active Floor have multiple products. They have interactive floors and interactive walls. The product is an all-in-one system, so you've got hardware and software, and the whole experience is to get people active, get them learning through games.
Yeah.
So there's a big educational benefit to the learning aspect, but more importantly, a new way of trying to engage students and get them moving, collaborating, having fun.
From a Canva point of view, how important do you think creativity will be?
Wow, amazing question. In this case, I think that the best option to do something like this is Canva Code. Because in Canva Code, you can create all the things that you can imagine.
Yeah.
That's true that this is very related with the student, but if you can create another type of activity or resources, to be honest, Canva Go your first option.
So see these little people in the background here. Tell me about this game that they're playing.
Yeah, so this game is one of the sports wall games. As you can see, they're using the balls to throw at the wall and try and get the highest score that they can. But it's very much about trying to get them to improve their motor skills, be active whilst they're doing it. So this is a product that can be applied into scenarios where you might use traditional PE.